I'm Lauren with Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a detailed look at the Chrome Industries Camden 16-liter backpack, which I've been testing for the last 2 weeks. Let's dive in. Kicking it off with the materials here, this is a 400D recycled crinkle nylon. So all of the materials in this bag are, or the fabrics on this bag are 100% recycled. So I'm gonna bring this up a little bit closer to the camera there so you can see it. It's got kind of like a, it says crinkle, but I feel like it's more based off the aesthetic than it is the actual material itself. So I'm gonna crunch this up a little bit. And it is kind of crinkly, you can sort of hear it, but honestly, it's a lot softer than a lot of like crinkle fabrics that we've seen. So I think it has kind of like a smooth nylon feel to it. So if you don't like that like really crinkly X-Pack kind of sound or feel, this is definitely not that. So that's great. The inside liner is 150D recycled polyester, so you'll see that once we get in there. But it is pretty straightforward in terms of like materials and things like that. So we have some Duraflex adjusters down here, and I can't remember if these are YKK zippers or not, so actually I'm just going to double check. Yeah, they're YKK. So overall, pretty solid build on this thing, great materials. We have a couple of loose threads on the back here. You can see like right there, and then right here, and then down here as well. There's a little chrome tab for some like branding here. This is a little, I don't know, it's like plasticky. It's like, it feels like it's kind of like ironed on or something like that. And then this chrome, and then the chrome stitching logo on the front as well. Regarding the little loose threads here, these I don't have any concerns about. This seems like a manufacturing, like these were just like left over, so you can just really easily cut these off. These don't feel like the bag's actually unraveling or anything. And those are really the only place on this bag where it's like, oh, that's not a great build quality, because the rest of this does feel super secure, which I think is something we're used to seeing from Chrome. Just solid build quality there. So on the bottom here, it's the same material, but there is like a little bit of padding there so that when you set this bag down, it doesn't make like a loud noise, or your gear inside doesn't get bumped around too much or anything like that. But overall, the outside here is pretty simple. What I like about this bag is it doesn't have that classic Chrome Industries look. If you like that Chrome Industries look, then that might not be for you, but me personally, I'm not a huge fan of like the big metal buckles and things like that. So this is definitely more my style, and I really like the material. I'm also a really big fan of this harness system. So it's simple, you can see there's no like sternum strap, there's no hip belt, nothing like that. There is a luggage pass through, so that's pretty great. But this padding is particularly what I like. So this feels like memory foam padding. And this back panel, you can see it's got a decent amount of it as well. Like that's a good, it's not quite as much as this material, like this material is really stretchy, but underneath is kind of that memory foam padding that I would say is maybe like a half an inch of it. But this is like a nice kind of breathable material, and it's also like a little bit moisture wicking. So if you're a little bit sweatier, that's really great. But it's really soft and very comfortable against the back, so I really like that. I've also got this top carry handle, which is just for easy grabs, kind of stays out of the way, doesn't hit me in the neck or anything like that. And then the underside of this, the shoulder straps, these shoulder straps are really padded considering the size of this bag. It's just 16 liters, but they are really substantial. They're a little bit stiffer and not quite as soft as this back panel. It's almost like a soft knit feeling, and you can see like we've got these cool little like ribbed design here for a little bit of extra breathability there. This material adds that breathability as well. So I think what's really nice about this bag is how much attention to the harness system they had, considering just like the size of it. It is really comfortable. I'll show it to you on, but overall very soft, especially when I have like a tank top on or something like that. So carry comfort here I think is pretty premium. So here's the bag when it's on my back. You can see that it's not really anything particularly special, right? Like it looks like a regular backpack, fits like a regular backpack, kind of feels like a regular backpack, but where I really feel it start to shine is with these shoulder straps, just because they are so cushy and comfortable. They also don't feel too wide. You can see here, they're not like cutting into my neck neck or cutting into the edge of my shoulders. I do have a bit of a smaller frame, right? And I also have a 16-inch torso. You can see that the bottom of the backpack kind of falls right down at my kind of like upper lower back, I guess. So it doesn't like hit me uncomfortably or anything like that. And I think that a lot of bags, sometimes when they have a lot of cushion, it can really start to dig in. So if you have a smaller frame, this is going to be really great for that. Otherwise, if you have a larger frame, kind of fits like a regular backpack, and then you just still get the added benefits of that carry comfort. If you're finding this video helpful, hit subscribe so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. And for now, we're going to take a look at the pockets on this thing. So we're going to start with this bottom pocket. This spans, it stops here, so there's no like pockets or anything on this side, which you'll see why when we get on the inside of the bag. But here, this zipper goes all the way to the end of the bag, and you just open that up and you can get inside. But for right now, real quick, the zipper pulls are kind of interesting. It's like this is kind of like a plasticky material. It's like a rubbery plastic, and it's super comfortable, grippy. Like it's reinforced with this like bar tack stitching, which you can like adds a little bit of extra grip. But it's just kind of like layered plastic, which I think is interesting. Just kind of like an interesting design. But we have this bottom pocket, which I have in here my chapstick, and I have some eye drops and some lotion. I'm gonna put that off to the side there. And I honestly didn't find myself using this pocket a ton. You can see it goes down to the bottom here. And then you also do have this storage space over here. So you can really take advantage of all of that space there. But I feel like by the time I actually got the inside of the bag packed out, it kind of started to cut into this space, which isn't something that it is something that we're used to seeing with a bag with this design, because it doesn't have like independent storage, independent literage. But with these items, I would say like they stored, for example, a phone in here, and I put that somewhere else. But this was really great for me for items like this that are really small, that I don't find myself needing a ton. So that was a good pocket for that. If not, it honestly just stays out of the way. You don't really need to like think about it that much. On the other hand, we have this pocket on the side. This is a vertical pocket. So this here, this goes to about right here. So it's not the full length of the bag, unlike this pocket down here, but I found myself using this one the most. And this is where you can see my wallet and my headphones. I'd also put my phone in here sometimes too. So just kind of depended on what I was doing. However, if you, and I'm gonna step back for this, if you are someone who is used to swinging the bag over to one side of your shoulder versus the other, I personally swing mine off of my left shoulder and around to my front. I can't get to that vertical zipper from here. So that's something that I've noticed sometimes with bags. They'll choose one side or the other that you can obviously access the swinging zipper. And a lot of the times it is that you swing it off your left shoulder and access it from the right. This one, you swing it off your right shoulder and access it from the left. So lefties, great news for you. For me personally, it was like I use so many backpacks that have that right swinging zipper that I would swing it to my right and be like, oh no, this is wrong. So then I have to put it back on and swing it the other way. Kind of a nitpicky thing. You'll get used to it, obviously, if this is the backpack that you're using all the time. And then the last pocket that we have is up here. This has like a felt lining on it, and this is where I put my phone. That's like a scratch resistant liner, and it's a fairly large pocket, honestly. So I feel like this is the kind of pocket where anything that I would have maybe been intended to put in here, I'm more inclined to put in this pocket. But this is great because it keeps like your sunglasses separate, so you don't have to worry about the like sunglasses scratching or anything like that. But because the pocket is so big, I feel like it's kind of wasted space. Like I would want to put my phone and sunglasses in here, which honestly, because the backpack it's just like chilling on top, it's probably going to be fine. But kind of up to you whether or not you find that super functional. But the liner itself is nice and like soft and all that jazz. And then we've got, you can kind of see it ends like here where that stitching is, and over here where that stitching is, and then you've got all of this space kind of up front here. It's like this whole chunk of the top, and it's a pretty roomy zipper design. So I feel like between those three zippers on the outside, because there's nothing else on the outside here, between those three zippered pockets, I had enough storage for all of my small items without being like, oh shoot, I got everything in except for like one or two things. The only thing it doesn't have is like a key leash for a set of keys. That's on the inside though, so let's take a look at that now. So earlier I mentioned that this pocket, or both of these pockets, don't actually cut into this side over here, and that's because when you open up this main compartment, you'll see there is a water bottle pocket on the inside. So quickly taking a look at how you open this bag, it's like a J-shaped zipper, I guess you could call it. So it starts a little bit higher on this side, and it's a dual zipper, so you can unzip it from any point along the track. And this opens all the way down almost to the bottom. There's a couple of inches of space here, and so that you can get a pretty decent look at the inside of this bag, so you can open it a little bit more. There is a gusset here, and that acts as like the back panel of that water bottle pocket. And so for this here, like I'm just gonna take out this stuff actually. Well, so this is where the key leash is. You can see it's just at the top here, and then your keys attached. There's no like clip or anything. It's just a little open kind of carabiner loopy thing. This is just like a little plastic material, and this is like a ribbon. I like this because it's really easy to get your keys on and off. I didn't love how this was just kind of sitting on top of everything, because when you can see I put my like hoodie in here, it was just on top of the hoodie, or if the keys were already in here, then it would be like competing for space. You could put your keys in this pocket here, but because mine are a little bit on the chunkier side, that gets a little bit awkward. So it's a little bit finicky, but I think in the scheme of things, like it's kind of nitpicky, right? Like if you wanted to put your keys somewhere else, you totally could. And then there are also 2 pen slots. But I'm gonna take out that hoodie there, and then you can see a little bit better. You can see the pocket and the 2 pen slots there. So this pocket goes down to about that same height, a little bit further. So it goes a little bit further down, and then the 2 pen pockets. I also have a pouch down at the bottom here. So you can see it's a pretty simple inside design, right? Like there's no crazy internal pocket storage apart from like what's on the back here. And then this is enough space for a up to a 15-inch laptop. This has a little bit of padding, and then as for false bottom, there's a little bit of that as well. So you can't really see it super well there, but I would say my fingers come to about here. So you have a good inch or 2 of space between your laptop and the bottom of the bag. So great if you're like a commuter. I think this bag really succeeds at that because of the carry comfort, but also because of that laptop and tech protection. So that's a 13-inch MacBook Pro. Just gonna take that out there. And then this water bottle pocket is on the inside. So I like that it's on the inside because it kind of saves the aesthetic of the bag. You don't have to like have a big water bottle pocket on the outside. Is a little bit tedious to get to it. What's nice is that if you want to keep the zipper on this side, you can like keep the zippered pocket right here, and you can get to it pretty quickly and just take your water bottle out and then open or close it back up. So, you know, you can kind of decide where your zippers are gonna go based off of that. They say that this fits up to a 2.5-inch bottle. So that's about what this is here, and it fits in nicely. You can see this is the Walla, it's the 24 ounce, yes, 24 ounce, I forget every single time. And then that fits in there really nicely. It's not anything special, this water bottle pocket. Like it's got a little ribbon here so you can like pull it and kind of get your thing in there if you need to. You could also use this if you wanted to like, if you had like a pair of, if you have smaller feet, if you wanted to put like a pair of like sandals or flip-flops or something in there, you totally could. But it is definitely more functional or functionality for a water bottle. And then if you're not using it, then it does just kind of sit up against there. You don't have to take up that space. But I think it's nice to have the option to have something stored in there, and then, you know, it's not in the way if you don't need it. One thing I did notice is that if I had a water bottle in here, and I would recommend, you know, putting the water bottle in first and then packing around it. Sometimes if I packed too many things, like let's say I had something over on this side too and it was really butting up against here, I could find it a little bit difficult to zip around this water bottle, partially because that gusset, you can see, kind of pokes out and gets stuck in the little zipper track. But also if it started butting out too much, then you can see it goes out past the zipper point. So you have to be a little bit careful, but I think that's more of a nitpicky thing. In general, I think this bag does organization great and carry comfort even better. So there you have it, the Chrome Industries Camden 16-liter backpack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next one.